Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today we are live swatching Glam Polish's Halloween Horror Shop event. Each polish is in very limited edition and will be available Friday, September 22nd, 2 p.m. EST, and each polish will be $13. The full 20 shade collection will be $260. And I'll have the promo info down in the description box in case I forgot to mention it during the video. Let's get started. So this is going to be a long one, friends. The first polish is To Die, to be really dead, that would be glorious, inspired by Dracula. It's a deep crimson jelly with Aurora shimmer and sapphire glitter mix. So personally, I thought the sapphire glitter mix was a pretty interesting contrast to the deep crimson jelly, but the Aurora shimmer pulls it all the way together, making it a very nice vampy shade for anyone who loves vampire movies or someone who just really loves deep, rich reds. So 2 coats for opacity for me with my short nails, and I would recommend 3 to 4 for longer nails or more visible nail line because you really don't want it to be patchy, and without fail, I always have a patchy first coat. So next up is Welcome to My Nightmare, inspired by Freddy versus Jason. This one is another red acrylic, but on a total different end of the spectrum. This one has a Aurora shimmer with it and a glitter mix, but it's a bright red. This one is a super, super bright. And the Aurora shimmer almost comes off like a gold shimmer in it. So I liked those. I don't know that I needed the glitter mix in it or this particular color of glitter mix because it looks like it's a green or a forest green glitter mix, which gave me actually more Christmas vibes than nightmare vibes. So, like, there's a little difference in my perception for this one. Again, 2 coats for full opacity. That brings us to Red Rum, Red Rum, Red Rum, inspired by The Shining. This one is a shifting iridescent flaky mix with Aurora shimmer, black glitter mix, and a hint of holographic flakies in a clear base. So this one can be worn in 1 coat as a topper over a different polish, or you can go ahead with like I did and just do 2 coats and wear it by itself because I really wanted to just showcase the polish individually instead of doing the polish along with something else. So while I normally would be like, you know what, that's a little too much Aurora shimmer for me with the black glitter mix, it actually works really well together in a high contrast situation. Again, for me, 2 coats for full opacity. You can do more or less depending on your preference. Now we get to one of my favorites of the collection, and this one is You'll Float Too. This one is inspired by It. It's a blackened burnt orange jelly with shifting iridescent flakies and a hint of holographic flakies. So this one gave me sort of kind of leaf peeping Sasquatch vibes, except for I feel like it's a burnt orange instead of a brown. So it's slightly brighter, but not that much. So I was very excited about this one because immediately it gave me good memories and good feelings, despite it being inspired by one of the creepiest movies ever made. So I definitely want this one on my nails during the fall season, whether I'm trying to get in the mood for spooky movies or not, I would still want to wear this one. Next up is Get Out. This one is inspired by the movie Get Out. It's a dark teal crelly with a strong sapphire shimmer, shifting iridescent flakies, and a hint of ultra hollow glitter. So I don't know if it's like just me because this was one of the scariest movies I have ever seen because it could so happen easily in reality, and it's something that I um like there's just so much paranoia about this one, but it's not just this movie. It'll be another one that we'll talk about soon. And I looked at the polish. I love teals. I love dark teals, but this one kind of reminded me of a dusky jelly, and I don't know that that's exactly what I was looking for. I usually prefer teal creams or teal crellies. This one looked like a dusky teal jelly. So, here we are with the side by side. And again, like even looking at all of them together, You'll Float Too stands out to me as my favorite of this five because even though there are two reds representing in this first side by side, neither one of them struck that chord with me that You'll Float Too did because I'm seeing it very much in fall situations, cozy afternoons and evenings, as opposed to just for Halloween or just for spooky vibes. So definitely love that one. We'll be holding on to it with like the whole grip. So, next up is The Dead Will Walk the Earth, inspired by Dawn of the Dead. I haven't actually seen that one. It's a chartreuse crelly with glitter mix and aurora shimmer. Very simple description, and like now I'm teetering on this fence because they had another polish that was similar to this that was released in another collection. I think it was Return to Sunnydale. And I really 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 loved that one. So the fact that they are kind of similar kind of pushed this one out of favorite. I still love the shade. I still love that it reminds me of I Am the Danger, but two coats for full opacity, three or more if you have longer nails. Next on the showcase is going to be Before You Die, You See the Ring, inspired by the ring. This is another one I haven't seen. It's a gray blue crelly with black flakies and aurora shimmer. So I actually really liked this one. It's a gray blue crelly, which it looks like a gray blue crelly instead of like a dingy baby blue. It actually looks gray blue. So I like the black flakies for contrast, and the aurora shimmer just tops it off really nicely. It's a very pleasant looking polish to be associated with such a scary movie. So I actually only needed two coats for full opacity. The first one was kind of shy in my opinion, but I do apply with thin coats out of epic fear that thick coats won't dry before I destroy them. That brings us to another topper. This one is You Can't Get Rid of the Babadook. This is inspired by Babadook. I haven't seen that one. I've never even actually heard of it. It's black and white glitter mix with shifting iridescent flakies and holographic flakies in a clear base. So I applied it one coat on my nails and I just thought it was so cute. So I feel like if I knew the movie, I might have a different association with it. But what I couldn't get over was the shifting iridescent flakies almost made it look like it was pink and lavender with the white mix and the black glitter mixed together. So it just really came off as cute and adorable for what I'm sure is a terrifying movie that inspired it. So next up is Live or Die, Make Your Choice, inspired by Saw. And I feel like this polish nailed the inspiration so much, but then again, so did Get Out. Um, this one is a gray crowley with metallic glitter mix, orange shreds, black flakies, and aurora shimmer. So, like, I am definitely seeing the, what was it? What do you call the main, like, image for a movie? Like the cover art for the CD, for the DVD? Yeah, before streaming. But anyway, I am definitely seeing that whole image in this polish. So I'm like, that's crazy how well the inspiration was nailed for this polish. I'm wild about it, but here comes another one of my favorites. And this was a really hard one for me. This one is It Was the Boogeyman, inspired by Halloween. And it's a matte and metallic glitter mix with scattered holographic flakies in a clear base. So I love the contrast here because they are matte and metallic glitter mix, but it almost looks like it's a metallic blue and a metallic orange. So I know that from color theory that blues and orange complement each other, but this is the first time that I've seen it, and I've immediately been attracted to the combination. Now, you do see me fiddling around with the brush, placing some glitter in places where I felt like it was sparse because I really could get away with one coat to show off the polish, but I don't know. I can't do like just the whole big empty spot when there's so much glitter. So I kind of just moved it around until it worked for me and then put a clear, quick drying top coat over it. Now you can do it 1 or 2 to 3 coats for full coverage. Or you could just use it as a topper over a white polish. So here we are with the side by side again. This one was much harder than the first for me because I liked the Babadook one, and I also really liked the Saw one, and I just could not stop looking at the Boogeyman one. So Boogeyman is going to win out for this round for me. I know it's a topper. I usually don't make a big deal about toppers, but here we are. It is what it is. So next up is Stay Away from the Light, inspired by Poltergeist. Again, another one of those absolutely terrifying movies for me. Like maybe I like even as an adult it scares me. So this one is a white crowley with shifting multi-chrome flakes, sapphire shimmer, and holographic flakes. Again, very nice color combination. I think it's actually a beautiful polish, and I mean, as long as I don't think about what inspired it, I might really like wearing it for winter. It is gorgeous. So, again, 2 coats for full opacity for me. You might need more if you have longer nails. I keep saying this because I actually like the formula of Glam Polish despite the yellow, the very, not yellow, the very thin brush. So, we've got another one that I felt was like a topper or not a topper. It depends on how you want to wear it. It's I Am Having an Old Friend for Dinner, inspired by Silence of the Lambs. Should be terrifying, but actually was interesting as far as I was concerned, even more so as an adult. This one is shifting multi-crumb flakes and scattered holographic flakies in a clear base. And now I'm all behind because I kept talking. So I did like that one and only did one coat. This one is next up. We Are the Weirdos Mister, inspired by the craft. Loved that movie as like a teenager. So it is a purple jelly with aurora shimmer, black flakies, and a hint of holographic flakies. This one went on okay for the first coat. I still feel like I had a little bit of patchiness, but I was really impressed that on that first coat, I was able to see the black flakies in there and some of the, I'm not really the holographic flakies, but definitely the Aurora Shimmer. So on the second coat, they kind of blend in a little bit, except for like a little bit of texture. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that in case you're one of those people like me that loves a glassy, squishy finish. You might want to use a smoothing top coat and then your quick dry top coat on that one. So that brings us to Please Don't Kill Me, Mr. Ghostface, inspired by Scream. Black. I'm sorry. Scream had way too many comical moments for me. So next up, so that description is black with aurora shimmer and white glitter mix. I loved the Aurora shimmer in this polish so much. It kind of reminded me of You Can't Escape the Babadook, or sorry, you can't, something about the Babadook. It reminded me of Babadook with the glitter mix, but the black with Aurora shimmer kind of just made it so much more unique. And now I'm feeling like I need both of them because I don't think I have like a black jelly or black crelly that I could use to recreate it, if that makes any sense. That next polish is going to be I'm Your Number One Fan, inspired by Misery. This one is an indigo jelly with aurora shimmer and shifting iridescent flakies. I loved Misery so much. Interesting fact. And literally just bought a streaming copy of it so that I could have my husband watch it because he had never seen it. And there's one I did feel like, I don't know, maybe it's because I was polishing my thumb, which is quite a bit wider than my other fingers, but it almost felt like I needed two coats just for the first coat to be uniform. So definitely going to say at minimum two coats for this one, and then maybe four if you're doing longer nails, because I think it is stunning in full opacity. So I'm looking at these and I'm teetering back and forth because I'm kind of liking them all, but not loving them all to the point where I have a favorite that I can pull out. So I'm just staring, but I guess if I had to choose a winner for this round, it would be Please Don't Kill Me, Mr. Ghostface. Not just because I loved Scream and I thought it was kind of funny. So, that is the side by side for that bunch, which is bringing us to our last set out of 20 polishes. I have been so flustered the whole time because there's so many polishes. I'm not saying the name for this one. Too much trauma as a little kid from watching it. I refuse to say the name, but it is a blackened blue jelly with shifting iridescent flakies, metallic glitter mix, and a hint of scattered holographic flakies. Remember when I was talking about Get Out and how that one was terrifying because it was realistic? This one was terrifying in an unrealistic way, but still just as scary because, like, the killer killed indiscriminately. Just, he got everybody who said his name. So, the polish. Anyway, first coat, little bit patchiness, but it makes up for it in that second coat because it's just dark enough that you can get full opacity and it almost comes out with that jewel looking appearance. So, next up is Fear Doesn't Live Here Anymore, inspired by the monster. It's a swamp green jelly with aurora shimmer and black flakies. Why I so excited about this one. I think it's just gorgeous all around. I mean, I would wear this in the fall. I would wear it in the winter. I'd wear it around Christmas. It's just a it's just a beautiful, like stunning, breathtaking green. And I'm just not sure if it's the swamp green jelly or if it's the mix with the aurora shimmer that's really pulling me. The black flakies are there, but they're not so prominent that they are making a huge deal. Like the green is just gorgeous, and the aurora shimmer works in beautifully with it. So I just really like that one. Two goes for full opacity for me. And that brings us to We're Gonna Die Out Here, inspired by the Blair Witch Project. I actually never saw this cult classic. I can't believe it myself. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I don't know. The idea of being out in the woods and scared for your life kind of makes me feel very uncomfortable. So, this one is a dark purple jelly with aurora shimmer, shifting iridescent flakies, and a hint of scattered holographic flakies. Absolutely gorgeous. On that first coat, again, a little patchy. I use thin coats. It's kind of expected. I more so judge on that second coat. What does that second coat do? If the second coat gives me almost full opacity and looks very beautiful and even in uniform, then I'm a fan. And I think that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love polishes from Glam Polish, because usually by that second coat, we are looking at something truly magical despite that thin brush. Despite the thin brush. So that brings us to any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly, inspired by Jason Lives. And I kind of, I don't, I'm gonna leave that one alone. It's a dark green jelly with aurora shimmer, shifting iridescent flakies, and a hint of holographic flakies. So this one reminds me a lot of You'll Float Too, but in green. So you kind of already know that I'm already looking at it and I'm in love with it and I think it's beautiful. And I'm just like, I could wear this for Christmas too. I love polishes that are slated for a specific holiday but could very easily slide into another one. That is double, triple duty for me as a polish and really makes me appreciate it because it could go either way or both, or you could pull it multiple times in a year. So, definitely loving any weirdo. And I can't help laughing at some of these titles because they remind me of the movies. And that brings us to our very last. This one is Don't Make a Sound, inspired by A Quiet Place. And this one is a brown jelly with aurora shimmer and shifting iridescent flakies. I was really surprised because I was like, brown? Because I didn't see the brown as much as I thought I would. Like, usually with glam polishes, you can kind of tell what the base color is. This one was like, is it brown? But it doesn't matter to me because It is a gorgeous jelly, and the Aurora Shimmer and Shifting Iridescent Flakies work really well together to give it a unique quality. So, if you're looking for one that can stretch across different categories in your collection, this may be the one for you. That gives us our very last side by side, and I'm feeling the greens. It's very hard for me to pick a favorite out of this one because Fear Doesn't Live Here Anymore. I was a big fan of that one and any Weirdo too. So I'm gonna say any Weirdo because it was like the green version of You'll Float Too, which made me fall epically in love with that polish. So that is the whole showcase. 20 polishes. Now, definitely grab these as soon as the shop opens because the Halloween horror shop is legendary for selling out. So definitely grab yours. I'll have the link down below to the shop. I will have the date and time that it opens down below in the description for you so that you can't miss it. If you love live swatches, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you're part of my nail fam, I'm sending out virtual hugs. As always, take care of yourselves and each other.